Hey guys, this is my 2006 Monte Carlo. It has 86,000 and some change miles on it. I've had it for about 3 years. I bought it with 61,000 miles on it. Had 8-year-old tires on it that were like 85% tread. So it was a rental car to begin with. This is an LT trim with a 3.9 liter V6. It's rated 242 horsepower, 242 torque. LT is supposed to have leather, but this was made for, I believe it was Hertz, and they had a leather delete, so it's everything that an LT would come with except for the leather. Um, so I'm gonna do like kind of like pros and cons. So pros, this is actually a fun car to drive. It's not slow, it's not quick by today's standards, but for being, this is a 2006, for being you know 14 years old now, and for being in 2006, I should say, but when it was new, it was pretty decent power-wise. Um, like I said, 242 horsepower. It still has some power to it. Nothing huge, just enough. Still spins tire. You have to be careful not to spin tire. Big improvement over the 3.8 liter V6 and the older, like the 2000 to 2005 SS. I had an 03 SS. This is quite a bit stronger. Even the base engine that you can get in this for 2006 was a 3.5 V6, and that was 215 horsepower, and the SS had 200 even before. With this style, the updated look, they changed the engines. All the engines were kind of switched out, and the SS changed from a 3.8 liter V6. Sorry, I should say 04 and 05 had a supercharged 3.8 liter V6 for their top trim, which was called a supercharged SS. They still offered a normal 3.8 liter V6 from 2000 to 2005, and it was still called an SS. I believe 2004 and 2005 there was also another trim that you could get. I believe it was the LS that had an optional 3.8, but I could be wrong on that. But they were other than that, they were 3.4 liters. And they were like 180 horse, I think. But this is a 3.9 liter. So this is the middle engine. It is just a V6. It's a decent powered V6. Has 4-speed automatic transmission. It's a fun car to drive. It's front wheel drive. I prefer rear, but it drives. It's fun. It's still a pretty fun car. Interior quality, this is 86,000 miles. It has not been garaged for the past 3 years. It has a little bit of hail damage and stuff on it. This always pops up on every Monte Carlo, and mine started popping up right up there. Other than that, though, interior quality, the spring that holds this up, it just drops. The spring broke. Glove box is fine. Door handles are fine. Everything inside is fine. Like nothing's, steering wheel's still good. Nothing's really coming apart, falling apart. Nothing like that. This is called a stand gauge 2. If you look at my my part 1 video, this is not part 2 that I'm doing, but it's part 1 about the air intake temperature for my Monte Carlo. This is called a stand gauge 2. They are not a sponsor. I bought this with my own money. I think if you have a car that's from 1997 and up, this is a great thing to have. Other than that, though, I'm just gonna leave that. Just watch my other video for it. But it's pretty nice to have. Other than that, like my carpet isn't coming up anywhere. My headliner's not really. I don't know if it's coming down anywhere. Previous owner put cigarette marks and stuff on it up there and whatever that is, but. Not burns, but marks of some sort. But all the trims and everything, like the panels and everything, are fine. The big, so I just thought of another con, so I'll just add that to the list. So, sorry, my dog was in here, so seats are hairy. Rear seat room, I have junk in here, I know. Rear seat room is not bad. Leg room. My seats, I'm 6'5". My seats are all the way back, and I'm also, like, they're leaning back. It's not like, it's not gangster lean, but they're leaned back a little bit. Like I said, I'm 6'5". I can almost straighten my legs out in here. There's my legs. Yes, they're bent, but that's pretty straight. It's a comfortable car. It's not great, but it's a pretty comfortable car. It's one of the more comfortable cars I've been in. It's pretty spacious, somewhat. I mean, it's a mid-sized car. It's a little bit lower than the Impala. It makes it a little bit more sporty. Has a slightly different bumper, front bumper. Other than that, the hood and headlights are the same. The rear is different, of course. It's a two-door car instead of a four-door. Interior panels are a little bit, or actually they're pretty different. But I mean, everything, all the paint and everything that's on the buttons is still there. Or I should say the clear spots that illuminate, stuff like that. There's nothing really falling apart. You know, I can't think of anything that actually is falling apart. So the cons, one con is the transmission. The transmissions in these are not among the most reliable transmissions. They're actually like lower on the totem pole for quality. They do have issues with the torque converter sticking or slipping, and they have issues with the transmission itself slipping or, you know, going bad early, I should say. If you do your regular maintenance, I bought this used. I've driven it for 3 years. I have not done the proper maintenance on this. I'm going to do the transmission fluid here in a few weeks when I have time and the weather's not, you know, like we just got through a whole bunch of snow and it's been windy and rainy and stuff like that, so it's kind of hard to get it, you know, do oil changes and stuff. This is due for an oil change too. It's not past due, but it's due. So one con is the transmission. The second con is the cup holders. 2000 to 2005, I should say 2000 to 2003 at least. I believe 2004 and 2005 were the same way. They had the cup holder. They had one back here and one up front, in front of the gear shifter. So the problem with that is you cannot put this in park when you have a cup up there, and you cannot put this in 1 or 2 when you have a cup back here. I still cannot put this in 1 or 2 with the cups back here. And then this design is, I would say, better, but you get 1 7/8 of a cup holder. It's a little bit recessed. I mean, that's lower than this part. There's a lip there, but to put 2 cups in there, it kind of sucks. It is nice. It widens out up top up here, so you can fit like a big McDonald's cup in there, like 2 of them, and they still work. But they're, you know, they're tilted. One's leaning forward, one's leaning back a little bit. Other than that, I had a big issue with my 03. This one has not had as much of an issue, but it has happened once. And that is, it's usually on the passenger side for some reason. I don't know why that is, but I'm going to get out and show you some stuff around the car. I'll point out the con first. But, so, the biggest thing is this. These have, it's just what every car nowadays has anyway, but they have weather stripping all the way around. And you have this weather stripping down here, this black right here. So water gets stuck in the door because the little drain holes under here get plugged, and I don't know if any water will come out. I haven't had an issue with it, but no, there's no water in there. But my 03 was notorious for it. Had a whole, every couple days it rained, I would have to empty this thing out. This one has happened once and it hasn't had the issue since. But other than that, that's one of the other problems you got to watch for. I'll do a walk around. So these are my wheels off of my 03. I bought new tires for the 03 right before it died on me, so I switched them over to put them on this. I got these aftermarket headlights. They have a little bit of condensation in them because they're new, and I haven't had a hot day to be able to try to get it out of there. But it's still, I used a hairdryer and stuff, and it's like half of what it was, but still, I thought it would be gone, but it's not. My hood has some chips and hail damage here and there. Over on the corner over here, there's a little bit like there and there and there and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm not even pointing at them, but there. Had hail damage when I bought it. Nothing bad, but so I'm gonna makes it so I feel more comfortable doing customizations like cutting holes and stuff in here. But being in Ohio, there's rust issues. That was like 10. It was like 10% of that when I bought it. So there's that there. There is that there, and then my trunk, I painted the spoiler black. I got rust issues right there, nothing bad, but this is going to be black at some point. I custom painted my taillights, so that's what they look like from the back. I had these painted black chrome, but it came off. I didn't paint them right. It was, you know, my bad. But I also didn't like the look, so I'm going to change it to a different color. It's going to be more of a satin type. These are not tinted. They are actually painted. The light still comes through though. I did it kind of not freehand, but I had these rings that I put on there and taped them on, and I did get overspray and stuff, so they're not even. I ordered decals. I'm actually going to order decals. I have them somewhat ordered to do that better. But I'm going to redo it. Rust there. A little bit of rust over, a little bit right there. Nothing huge. But other than that, it's been, you know, it's a good car. If you have any questions about, like, you want to buy one of these, definitely look at the transmission. Make sure the transmission's good. Oh, these things. Oh, I should say. Let me grab my keys. These things actually have a decent sized trunk in them. If I can get my key to work. There it goes. My key fob is crap. So, nice big trunk. Goes all the way back up there. It's pretty big for the size of car it is. But, let me get back in here. Yeah. So, if you have any questions about, you know, if you're going to be buying one of these or something, just look at the transmission, looking for any slippage or torque converter issues. You'll see that, like mine, the RPMs were going, sorry, kind of pointing at it. RPMs were going up and down a little bit while I was driving. It was like every 2 seconds it would go up, and then every 2 seconds later go back down, and 2 seconds later go back up. Had a little bit of a, like, not a jolt to it, but like kind of as if you hit a small pothole, or like a bridge, like the break in the pavement, without the noise. It was just like that movement, but without the thud. So other than that though, they're fun cars to drive. So if you want one, if you're a parent and you are looking for something for your kid, for like a first vehicle or something, they are good cars. It's something that they have. I will say this: they have low, unless you get the V8 SS, I believe also the supercharged SS, the V6 one. Other than that, their speed limiters are pretty low. Same thing with the Impala. This one, for being a 242 horsepower V6, the speed limiter is 113. And then my 03 SS, I believe, I think it was, I never did it, but because I didn't trust the car, honestly. It was an old beat up car, so I didn't trust it. But I believe they were 112. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. And I think the 3.5 liter V6 is also possibly 112. Once you get into the V8, the 5.3 V8, it's I believe it's like I don't even know if they have a limiter that's pretty low. Like, I know they go 140 at least, so I don't know if it goes past that or not. But other than that, like, they're fun cars. They're not too powerful where you're going to get yourself too much in trouble. I mean, yes, it can still go 113, but and I mean that as 113, not 130. I don't know how clear this is coming across, but 113. So they there's a low risk to them. They are pretty safe cars. They're a decent sized car. There's space in them. They're pretty safe, and especially for being 2006, standards, they're decent. They're pretty good. Dual airbags. There's airbag here, airbag there. I don't know if this has side curtain, but I doubt it. But either way, there is. Let's see. I'm trying to think. If, like I said, if you're a parent, I would classify this as a good car to have somebody learn on. It's somewhat quick to a point. 0 to 60 is like 7 seconds. It's not quick, but it's not slow. I'd kind of put it in between. Still quicker than quite a few vehicles on the road. But the has a low top speed because of the limiter. There's not much you can do. Like, I'm pretty sure there's actually nothing you can do to the 06, 07 Monte Carlo, unless you have the SS. The V8 this doesn't fall under what I'm saying. The 3.5 V6 and the 3.9 V6, there's like no aftermarket anything. So your kid can't go out and get a tuner and change the speed limiter like you could with like the SS and stuff. Nobody that I have not found anybody that does custom tuning. You can get a module, but you cannot program anything in it. It just adds power to the car. So there's no settings to change. It's just you plug it in and it works. So that would be something, your kid is not going to be able to go above 113. So yes, that's fast, but at least it's not a 140 mile an hour car. So and they're front wheel drive, so they're if you live in states that have cold weather and winter, like snow and stuff, it's easier to drive in that too. They can learn on that. So I would say it's a pretty decent car for a first time driver. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, I am 6'5". I'm sorry, I have done so many videos that I kept on running into issues of either my battery on my phone died or my storage space ran out because I had it set to the internal storage and it just maxed out my phone storage, so it shut off. And I didn't even realize it when I was recording. And also I had it set to 4K before that. So I've done like 15 videos and I've only recorded 2 because I had to delete the rest. So I don't know if I'm saying stuff again, so I apologize if I already said this. But I am 6'5". I'm on the passenger side right now. I've never sat on this side, actually. I can see the seat is all the way back and my legs, I can literally straighten my legs out. Driver's side, I can almost, I'm like very, very close to stretching my legs out, like straightening them. It's a comfortable car. It has room. It's not a party car. There's not a ton of room. If you have your seat forward more, maybe, but there's not a ton of room to have like 7 kids in here and stuff. So you don't have to worry about overloading it too much. But if you're looking for it to buy, just watch the transmission, make sure that it doesn't slip that much, or at all. Actually, you don't want it to slip at all. But really, really watch the transmission. That's the biggest Achilles heel in these cars. They're not terrible transmissions, but they're not the best either. So if you take care of it, you'll be fine, but you should be fine, I should say. But transmissions and torque converters are the weakest link in these cars. And then, but yeah, my battery on my phone is about to die again. So thanks for watching. Comment if you have any questions, or of course, comment if you have a comment too. But I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And thanks for watching my video.